Coming up tonight, MSG Foreign Affairs Ministers today sign outcomes of their Foreign Ministers meeting. More than $75,000 donated to PM's Relief Fund and another $1.8 million upgrade for Pacific Sun. Good evening, I'm Sandra Sam. Foreign Affairs Ministers from the Melanesian Spearhead Group today signed the outcomes of their Foreign Ministers meeting at the GCC complex. This is part of discussions held from last week over important issues that affect the Melanesian Spearhead Group.
Today's signing of outcomes looks at important areas of interest as well as achievements since last year that affect the Melanesian Spearhead Group, such as political and security issues, trade and economic issues, social and security issues, and institutional governance. Other opportunities that will need to be explored and debated upon are the reviewing of old policies to ensure that consistency remains across the board and is aligned to the current changes taking place around the globe. In welcoming foreign ministers to the high-level Pacific meet, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama also emphasized the need for MSG countries and its leaders to work towards strengthening solidarity and cooperation, and this can be aligned to shared national goals. The Melanesian Spearhead Group celebrates 24 years of existence.
Hoteliers around the country this morning forked out $20,000 to assist the families affected by the floods which devastated the Western Division earlier this year. This morning, the Prime Minister received the donation from the association and other companies on behalf of government. Pacific Sun has welcomed the move by government to open up the airspace to other companies. Yesterday, Public Enterprise Permanent Secretary Elizabeth Powell revealed companies like Island Hoppers have been given the green light to service Savu-Savu, Taveuni and surrounding areas. Pacific Sun says this will mean more competition and better service for customers. General Manager Shainaz Voss reveals that more changes are expected.
Pacific Sun is cutting down on the number of flights to the Northern Division. General Manager Shainaz Voss says they cut down on the frequency of their flights and instead are improving their service delivery and upgrading their fleet to ensure that customer safety comes first. Air Pacific had spent over $300,000 to fit Pacific Sun's aircrafts with equipment to make sure that their fleet fly all year round. Voss had revealed in the past, 80% of their flights to the northwest disrupted due to bad weather, and their fleet was not fit enough to fly in all weather conditions, and they could only do visual flying.
There's adequate, if not more than enough service up to the north and elsewhere, in the form of both charter operators and a domestic airline service. So what's essentially happened is on the Pacific Sun side, what the board has asked Shainaz to do is essentially, we're helping her fix the airline, but that requires, us to take airplanes out of service, upgrade them, and do the retrofits and put them back in. And ultimately, at the end of the day, there's only going to be 3 Otters in the Pacific Sun fleet, as opposed to there were 4 previously, but we've parked 1 permanently. So that's what's going on over there, so as far as service goes.
Meanwhile, Pacific Sun, a branch of Air Pacific, is looking at another $1.8 million outfitting of 3 of their twin Otter planes to equip it with new state-of-the-art cockpit and additional equipment which will include a warning system when they go near a terrain or a terrain warning system, automated dependent surveillance broadcasting, as well as new VHF and HF radios.
Coming up after the break, Council looks into price increase and bamboo workshop update.